Although many people aren't interested in fungi, I only have a passing interest. I think many people will know exactly what this species is. Even if they don't know the name, they will have seen this one. This is probably one of the most popular species that's used in illustrations, especially illustrations showing various aspects of woodland. This is, of course, the fly agaric or fly agaric, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And it's a particularly good time for them as we go headlong towards November. And this is an absolute beauty because it's virtually perfect. If it wasn't for that little nick that's been taken out of this front end, it would be a stonker. Is an absolute beauty of a thing. Let's look at that. This, of course, is a fly agaric. It's probably one of the few fungal mushrooms or toadstools, whatever you want to call them, that many people know, and many people have certainly seen these, whether they've seen them in the flesh, so to speak, or in pictures in books. This is the one that many people associate as being a toadstool, or one with a fairy or a pixie sat on top of it. It is the most beautiful species, I must admit. I have a thing for these. I know they're not green, but just look at that. It's an absolute beauty of a thing. And these little white flecks are formed as the mushroom is developing, as it's growing. Starts as a complete cover and then breaks up. Beautiful thing. And this one is as perfect as you could ever wish, apart from one little tiny nick just there. But what a fabulous example of a fungi, and beautifully gilled, creamy coloured gills complete underneath. I'm no fungi expert, but I believe that the stem is called the stipe, and there's just a little bit of evidence of a skirt on here, all growing from this fabulous bulb. This is why I've pulled this one, just to show you what these kind of mushrooms grow from. And the soil that it's growing out of, actually, this is bone dry. But what a super thing. This reminds me of childhood, not my own, but my brother's. When he was at secondary school, I believe, and they were tasked in art with designing a range of something for children, or some children's play toys. My brother designed a children's rattle in the form of one of these, but when this cap was closed, it looked brilliant. It really did, and the art teacher told him it was brilliant and a fabulous design, with one little tiny flaw in his design. And that was nothing to do with the design. The design was perfect. It's just that it was based on something which is inedible, probably toxic and poisonous. You don't want to eat these. And his art teacher believed that if one of these was designed as a baby's rattle, it would encourage the slightly older child to go and grab one of these out of his nearest woodland and then just rattle it and play with it. I doubt that very much, but I can see his point. The design was fabulous. I'll give my brother credit for that. And I've done it in public too. But what a thing this is. Absolutely beautiful. And as perfect a specimen as you could ever wish to meet. And say, This beautiful underside with those gills, fabulous things. Look at that top. A true fungi in every sense of the word, this. And there's lots of them around in the Sherwood Forest area, and that's because we have lots of silver birches. You can see some behind me, and there's numbers of fly agarics or fly agarics around where I'm sat. All will have come up in the last night or two. It's a beautiful thing. And if you're handling fungi, always wash your hands before you shove them in your mouth. I'm sure you all shove your hands in your mouth at some time, but if you're handling these or have handled these and you're not certain of what you've handled, don't stick your fingers in your mouth or your child's. But it's a real beauty, something that you can go out now to your woodland, as long as it contains silver birches, and heathland too. And this will often turn up where such woodland was. In that case, it turns out to be nothing more than a sad relic of what we once had in that particular area. But you have to admit, it's a truly beautiful relic.